Episode 1192, Is Disappointment Leading Your Life?
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Staring at a stop sign, watching people
Happy day! Are you ready, expecting an incredible week? Are you filling your heart with joy already? It is Mindset Monday, and we're talking and asking a serious question. Is disappointment leading your life? Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Oh, woe's me. Let's dive deep. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already haven't had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, the question of the hour is this. Is disappointment leading your life? The failures, the daily ones, big ones and small ones, the dreams crushed, the love story broken. Disappointment wrecks everyday life. It's the sadness that seeps into the crevices and halts progress. Disappointment is defined as a feeling of sadness or displeasure caused by the non-fulfillment of one's hopes or expectations. It's that sadness or you being upset from not getting what you thought you should get or what you hoped for. Is disappointment leading your life? We tend to tie our happiness to outcomes and expectations. Later, that's equated to worthiness. But how unfair is that to you? It's no wonder you get disappointed. You can't control anything but what you do. You can't control whether you win or lose a game. All you can do is prepare the best you can and then play your best. Is that how it really happens, though? Be real. Nope. You let the disappointment take over your heart, slow your next steps, and eventually shut down your hopes and dreams. So let me ask you again. Is disappointment leading your life? Because it doesn't have to, nor should it. But it's a topic that we really don't discuss. We gloss over and we talk more about happiness. Oh, what you can do to be happier. We want to focus on somewhat of the positive aspect. But on the opposite end, there's what? Sadness. And with sadness comes disappointment. And that disappointment comes from what? Expectations. Expectations come from what? Experiences. And experience started when? When we were way little. As far back as your memory can go. Some of us can go back to 4 years old. Some of us can go back as young as even 3 years old. But it's those memories, those experiences that what? Drive our expectations. And when those expectations are set, we then what? Want certain outcomes. And we work hard, sometimes years, to get that accolade, to accomplish that one task, only to maybe fail, to fall short. And we're disappointed. The crazy thing is, though, the disappointment can be let go, but most of us don't. We don't deal with disappointment right now. We harbor it. And over time, it eventually leads to what? Bitterness. And that doesn't help in life anywhere. I don't care if you're a pessimist or an optimist. It's destructive. So I want to ask you, is disappointment leading your life? I was out yesterday running some errands, and I usually try not to do that on a Sunday because it's truly family time, but we were all running errands together. And my goal was to go out and get insoles for my shoes. I needed stability for my running shoes. I'm getting back into running again. I've been trying. God and I have been working on healing my injuries on my feet. And so I feel like, okay, it's time to start. It's time. And I just felt this urge that I'm supposed to be doing this. God's kind of like pushing me, nudging me, saying, come on, Christiane, I'm showing you these steps. You're healing slowly, so I need you to start this with me so you can continue to see the process. I said, okay. So I asked my husband, hey, can we go out to Dick's Sporting Goods and look for these insoles. I can order them online for convenience. I know I can, but they have them right then, and I really want to research them. So I researched everything online, and then I found that, they've got 2 or 3 different ones. I can go look, and those are the ones I'm looking at. I talked to one of the running coaches who you all have probably heard of, Coach Jen Rulon. We've actually had her here on My Strength is My Story. She's an incredible coach. She's a triathlete. She's a Kona finisher. Incredible woman. So I sent her a message and said, okay, I need to know the inside scoop of insoles for running and people with flat arches. I know you were like, this is Mindset Monday. It has nothing to do with feet. It's at the opposite end, Christiane. I get that, but stay with me here. So I told her what I needed, and she told me about this. So I went ahead and researched more, and that led me to Dick's Sporting Goods. Well, I get there, and guess what? I was ready to pick out my soles, and I go up to the cashier, and whoom, all the electricity goes out. Emergency lights come on. Everybody turns and is looking around. And the cashier on the other side looked at me and says, it's all your fault. And I was like, oh, please don't tell me that, because I do have a way with electronics. But that's for another episode. And I said, oh no, but I said, look at your spotlight. And the emergency light was just above her head, and it was shining down like she was an angel. And so we laughed a little bit. We stood there kind of waiting for the report. They escorted everybody from the back of the store, and my babies and husband were kind of amongst them in the back. And so they came forward, because when you lose electricity, they don't want people just wandering the store, for safety and for other reasons, obviously, for security. So everybody comes forward, and my husband finds me at the counter, and he goes, it's your fault, isn't it? And I'm like, no, it's not. The manager comes up and finally gives the report and says, well, it appears that there were some balloons that were flying. I'm not sure what size of balloons these were, but they took out a transformer, and the whole block is totally out. And we were in this area of lots of stores, and one big store that was near Dick's Sporting Goods, IKEA. I'm sure they weren't having a fabulous afternoon either. That's a much bigger store to handle. So I stood there and I thought, Lord, seriously, you told me to come get these, and now they're saying it could be hours. It may not even be up and running again. And until it's up and running, guess what? They don't sell anything. They close the store down. And so I walked out of the store disappointed. But you see, I didn't stay there long, because disappointment, when things happen in your life, you don't have to be disappointed. You don't have to let it lead your life. You shouldn't. What you need to do is change your response. That is your kiss to keep it simple strategy. Change your response. You already know that you are worthy. Let me remind you, Psalm 139, verses 13-14. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. You know that you are worthy. Sometimes you don't want to believe it. But I'm here to tell you that God doesn't make junk, only jewels. Listen to that again. God doesn't make junk, only jewels. You know this. Believe it, and then control only what you can. Change your response. So how do you change your response? Well, let's look at life's equation. E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals outcome. And a response is made up of 4 things: actions, thoughts, both verbal and nonverbal, words, spoken or written, and emotions. So if you need to change your response, that means you have to look specifically at actions, thoughts, words, emotions. That's a lot, isn't it? It is. Does it take work? Yes. Does it take energy? Yes. Are you worth it? Yes, because you are worthy. You are a jewel. God's jewel. So you need to ask yourself some of these questions. Number 1, what are you doing? Those are your actions. What am I doing? Is this really what I should be doing? How can I change my action? Number 2, what are you telling yourself? The thoughts. Number 3, what are you saying to yourself and even others? Okay, these are words that are coming out, and it could be even notes that are written. Your text that you send, that's written. It's a different form of writing nowadays, but technically that is written words. And number 4, what are you feeling? We're going to feel stuff in our life. We can't always control it, but we can control how we respond to it. So it's important we acknowledge that those emotions and feelings are there. E plus R equals O. Change your response. So I left the store. Kids in tow. Hubby too. We walked out to the car. My daughter had texted my son who was waiting in the car for me, and he's like, Mom, I don't want to go in. I'm going to do some study. So he was reading his history. Hats off to him. I'm glad he's wanting to do his schoolwork. And we get there, and he goes, yeah, I saw everybody leaving. I'm like, I wonder if everything else is dark. Now, understand that it's still light outside, and so we can't tell until we drive past the stores. And it didn't look like floods and floods of people were coming out of the stores. But I was like, I wonder how they're handling things. Because I was like, that's not fair. If they get to buy their stuff, why didn't I get to buy mine? It's not fair. Oh, what happened? Red flag, disappointment. But I didn't stay there long, did I? I didn't. I changed my response. I came home after driving 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever it was. It was probably a good way to just kind of calm me down. Gave me a moment to think about it. Have a little quiet time with God. In between talking to my children and talking to my husband and kind of making plans as to the next step in the next store, et cetera, et cetera. We finally reach home, and I come into my closet, and I look, and I'm like, okay, Lord, you told me. You've been nudging me. But now what do I do? If I put this off and I place an order, that means even at Prime, I'm not going to get it for 2 days. That means it's not going to be here till Wednesday. I'm off track. This isn't going to work. You told me I'm supposed to be doing something now. So I got some of my other insoles that I had, and I knew what I really needed to kind of make do with my heel and my arch and where everything was going to go. Well, we won't get into all those details because we are talking about mindset, not feet set. But I needed to set my feet right. And so guess what? I found another way. I took my insoles that I had that I know works, but I needed a little more cushion. So I pulled out some of my other shoes, and I'm like, this one supports on the heel. And if I need something extra, I can add that in with my heel marker that I already have. Who knew that in my closet already was the answer? Now, whether God planned that out or not, it all came together. If I would have stayed, though, in disappointment mode and allowed myself to feel sad and run down because I didn't get the new insoles that Coach Jen recommended to me, which I'm probably still going to get. It's just not going to happen today. It may be 2 or 3 days before it happens. And guess what? That's okay. Because I changed my response. We don't always get what we want. Our dreams aren't always fulfilled. We don't always win first prize. We don't always have the perfect marriage. We don't always get the perfect job. We don't always have children who behave and do exactly what you say at the first time. There will be disappointment in your life, but you have to choose how to respond to it. Make a choice. How will you respond? E plus R equals O. When you respond differently, what? There's a different outcome. So today, guess what? I'm running. The game is on. Are you ready to play? Are you ready to get in the game? Your game of life? Maybe you want some help with that. Click on the link, Take Aim in the show notes. I have a gift for you. It's a coaching call with me. When you click on that link, there's a little form that pops up. That begins our conversation. We will get you set up for a coaching call. There's just a couple questions for you to give me some answers, so I just have a little bit of background information before we chat. Once when that happens, we are on the schedule and we're having a coaching call. And it's free to you, my gift. Life is hard. You don't need to walk around being disappointed. You are worthy. So change your response. You can do it. God didn't make junk. He only made jewels, and you're one of them. Be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.